minute. Or start it with a family member. I mean, there was a brief foray into a podcast, and look, I'm like, personally, we've all seen, I got a lot to learn. You're taking over my dating. I am a professional success. I have never gone into an area of things I don't know.
Talk to me about the breakup with your co-host on the podcast.
Well, I knew how to make money, and this other person didn't. And I'm like, you need to get out of my way. Like, I can make us both money if you just got. So when that didn't happen, and like, it was like, this isn't going to work long term. It's like when you're dating someone. It was
a bad breakup.
Well, I mean, was it bad?
It was.
Really?
From what you told me.
Aren't all breakups bad?
No, not all.
Really?
Yes.
I think all breakups in my life are bad. Is any breakup with a lawyer not bad?
A breakup with a lawyer?
Yeah. I mean, you go to school for 3 years, and, you're taught, I will win, bitch. And that implies, I guess, to every, it's like Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee now are going through a divorce. They used to live in my building when I lived down in the West Village.
I love Hugh Jackman.
Everyone
was my
loves
biggest
him.
Crush. Love
really?
Hugh Jackman.
He doesn't. I used to work. I mean, we were friends. I went to his Christmas party. We were
friends, and you went to his Christmas party.
I mean, we weren't friends. Like, we're gonna go.
You didn't find me and
this
bring
was
me?
Before I knew you.
That's not an excuse.
Lots of people were there. Martha Stewart. It was great.
I know Martha. I used to spend holidays with Martha. We shared a very good mutual friend.
Oh, interesting. Do you know I used to work for Martha Stewart?
I did not know that.
Oh, in recruiting. I was like head of recruiting in HR with this other woman.
I did not know that. I used to
It was an interesting place to work.
The holidays with her, Thanksgiving, Rosh Hashanah.
How was she? Nice?
She's Martha. She's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Martha. Listen, it was once, I mean... I forgot. So we had layoffs like every December or whatever. I mean, that was like, but so this year, the layoffs were on front page at page 6. So like Martha comes in, the whole HR department, finance was called in. I mean, she was like, she shut the door and she's like, okay, every single person sitting here is going to hand their phone. And I'm like, bitch, I am not handing you are you kidding me? I'm not handing you my phone. I didn't exactly say it like that, but she's like, I need everyone's phone. This is on page 6 that we're about to have layoffs. And I mean, it's literally someone in this room in HR.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, no one's going home and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And I'm like, we can stay here all night. I mean, I'd like a large pizza and like maybe some whatever, but you are not taking my phone, opening it and going through it. Like, let's just start with that. I didn't exactly say it like that.
Right.
I talk a good game, but no one speaks like that to Martha Stewart.
Although I once brought a guy whom I was dating over for dinner. It was myself, Martha, my friend Jane, whose apartment we were having dinner with her family. And by the time Martha was done with this guy, I did not think he would take me out again. She's tough. She was really tough. She's
no joke. But talk about, look, there's a lot of people that like Debbie Harry. She's like did every drug in the world, and look at her, she's still going. But like you look at Martha and like clean living. I mean, she is just like, she's just turning. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is.
So there you go.
But tough.
So, she's tough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think breakups I don't know. I mean, look, the older I get, I feel like maybe you shouldn't, like, I don't know if, like, you're either with me or against me is really,
right.
That's just isn't that how a lawyer's mind works?
Oh, I think,
is there such a wrong thing about that?
That should be how any adult mind works at a certain point, right? You grow to realize that there are social friends, and I use the word friends loosely. But then there are your real friends. The person you could call at 2 a.m. and say, don't ask any questions, I need you to show up. And there's very few of those.
See, I would show up for, even though I don't share.
I know you would
if someone called, if you called me at 2 a.m. and said it's actually an emergency, I would be there.
I know
really?
You would show up, and I would show up for you.
Thank you. Even though I don't share.
Even though you
I'm
don't share.
learning.
Well,
I'm sharing here
now.
today. Yes.
You're sharing now.
I like
and then
to
there
share.
are like frenemies who I stay away from now, right? I had a big group of those, the whole Ramona crowd. And I just, I don't have room for that in my life anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a cliche, but it's so true. The older you get, the smaller your circle gets. And that is not a bad thing.
Right. No, I agree with you.
I mean, I say that on this podcast all the time. Like, I don't want to be friends with these housewives.
You never want to be at a table where you're afraid to get up and go to the bathroom because then you're the topic of conversation, right?
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that one.
Go right ahead.
But it's true. And so when you get to that and you're like, this one said this about you, it's very simple. It's just like, there's no point at all. It's nothing like, I wish you the best of luck. That's different than a breakup. A breakup, I will draw the line and destroy you.
Right.
But that's my lawyer side. But if it's just like, nothing personal,
we just went our separate ways.
You're just, what is the point of this interaction? I would just rather work or stay home by myself. Like, this isn't, what amazes me is when you view life like this, and it's so simple, how many people have so many inappropriate toxic relationships. And I believe that is based on 98% of people's fear of being alone.
Right.
So you say these things about me, and
That's
agree.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm good like that.
You are good.
This is why I'm not in therapy. I got it all figured out, girl.
You do have it figured out.
I just don't, with dating, I just don't really follow through. And it's like but I know my own. So when you say things like you don't open up, like you're right. I don't. Like, I'm not saying that that's great. Like, I know there are issues I should probably work on.
Vulnerable?
I don't know if afraid is the right word.
Mm-hmm. It's just, you just don't feel the need. It's not in your nature. You feel like no one can give you better advice than you can give yourself. So what's the point in sharing?
Like, it's good to get advice, right?
Mm-hmm. Depends from who.
Yeah,
right?
It depends from who.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you get to a certain age, you're like, this too shall pass, as awful as it is. Because it always does. So you're like, I agree with you. It is, for the brief time that I was in therapy, it was all about, yes, you need to feel the emotion and feel the sadness. I think there's something to that. Mm-hmm. But also, I mean, you're going to end up in the same place. And listen, I think it is a coping mechanism. You sweep it all under the rug. That can't be great. But it's not, I think, the alternative is not like I really think people have these situations and I'm like, why then are you hanging out with these people? Like you say, you look at a whole group of frenemies and you're like, if you just were okay with being alone, like why would you want to put yourself in this situation? And I think it's like knowing yourself so that, like when you said, when I was going to a certain party this summer, we don't even need to mention whose it is if you don't want. But I know what it is. Not everyone knows what it is. And you're like, you would rather eat glass than go to that. It's
David
was
trying to get me to go to
you can say
a party in which there were going to be a lot of housewives. And I just had zero interest in going. So I connected him with Barbara Kay,